Hey folks, Dr. Dan here. Thanks for joining us today on the show. It's an exciting show. It's about new technology. It's about Quantified Ag. My guest will be Mr. Andrew Uden, who's the COO of Quantified Ag, with this new technology that's going to revolutionize the beef cattle industry.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you inviting me down.
You bet, folks. Andrew Uden here. He's the COO for Quantified Ag, which we've met and known each other for quite a while, even since you were at the University of Nebraska. But my goodness gracious, what an incredible technology and exciting time that you're bringing to the beef cattle industry. Tell me a little bit about Quantified Ag.
Well, yeah, it certainly is an exciting time right now, and in the cattle industry we're starting to see a lot of new technologies emerge, and I've been fortunate enough to get involved with Quantified Ag, which is a data analytics company that also makes wearables or biometric measuring devices for cattle. Sometimes the media calls us the Fitbit for cattle, and how we got our start was really getting into drones and thermal imaging and some of these technologies that people are using experimentally on their operations. Our CEO, Vishal Singh, was a drones expert, technology expert at the University of Nebraska, and then transitioned into beef cattle technologies. And that's right about the time I came on board, and we decided, let's go forward with an ear tag. Vishal was already working on one, and I started giving ideas and sharing ideas, and we started working with veterinarians, we started working with cattle producers and people in the industry to solve real-world issues around behavior, sickness, feed performance.
Yeah, and for years, just trying to train how to find animals that are sick or animals that are injured, and that predator-prey relationship that cattle will not exhibit clinical signs because for years of evolution they've been taught to not show weakness so they don't get picked off by a wolf. You're bringing forward something that then can help producers on a day-to-day basis pick out animals that are maybe not doing right.
Absolutely, absolutely. The big thing that we noticed was when we talked to pen riders, and I was a pen rider at my family feed yard for many years in high school and college weekends, and we look at how pen rider behavior affects the animals. If you get a new guy or you get somebody that's not really experienced around animals, a lot of times they don't know to be looking 2 or 3 pens ahead for the animal that has his head down. And so by the time they get to that pen, they've missed him already. When you get you walk in the gate or a new pickup drives by, all the heads are up, and suddenly you've missed your chance to early detect those animals that really need attention today so that they're not sick tomorrow. And so that's the issue people have been trying to solve with drones, with thermal imaging. But when you get to those high-level technologies, you start to get to a point where you scare the cattle. You're putting another factor in their environment that's going to kind of set them in that prey mode. And that's why we decided with an ear tag, it's something cattle are used to. It's something that they're not even going to know they're wearing, similar to somebody wearing a Fitbit.
Yeah, well, I think it's a fitting name, the Fitbit for cattle. It's folks, we're going to get into this technology, and you're gonna sit there and go, wow, because the ability to, and the dollars and the ability to improve beef cattle health and well-being is not only something that's going to be recouped in general dollars for a person owning the operation, but the better we can do with judicious use of antimicrobials and serving the retailers and consumers of beef. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks again.
Great. When we come back, we're going to dig into this technology, take a look at what they have there at Quantified Ag. Thanks for watching DocTalk. We'll be back after these messages.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
This segment is brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson here at Kansas State University, and I have Mr. Andrew Uden here on the show. He's the COO of Quantified Ag, which is a company that has some tremendous technology that's going to revolutionize cattle feeding and beef cattle health. And I always like to start out with the equipment. So what are we talking about here, and kind of describe to us how your program works.
So we tried to design our system to be as low infrastructure as possible. And so we built first we had to build a tag that had some kind of communication platform on it. And then that platform we built out so that basically the scale of a feed yard, tens of thousands of animals could all go back to one receiver. And so one receiver.
All right.
Yep. And so we built out that technology very early days of basically mounting a high frequency antenna on a feed mill, taking all that information to one box, and then all of that goes up to the cloud, where you can pull it into your smartphone or your computer and instantly see what's going on with the animals in your yard.
Okay. So you'll take, how big is this receiver? I mean, what are we talking about?
It's probably about the size of a piece of paper, and it's about 6 inches thick. You just mount it on a wall, plug in the power, plug in your antenna, and plug in internet, and you're ready to go. I mean, it's very low, hands-off, low infrastructure system.
Well, I've spent years of working with farmers and ranchers and computers and online training and different things of that nature. And the simpler the better, especially when we're talking about animals and not disrupting commerce at a feed yard. This sounds incredible.
Well, that's kind of how we've always tried to envision it as something that our most basic customer could buy it and within a few hours be up and running on their operation.
Okay, so they plug it in. So this is the ear tag here.
Yeah, so receiver's plugged in, it's collecting data. Now we start with the ear tag, and it's kind of a different looking ear tag because of the sensors that are on it and because of how it collects information. Yep. We actually have an infrared temperature sensor that looks down the ear canal. So it sits in the top of the ear like this and goes fairly deep in the ear, and then we actually have a stainless steel surgical staple that holds the ear into the animal.
Gotcha.
And then this piece of backing goes under the staple to keep it from irritating the animal, the top of the animal's ear.
So this is on the back of the ear?
This is on the back of the ear. This is up in the ear looking down the ear canal.
Gotcha.
So we get more accurate temperature. And then there's also collecting movement, so head movement, overall mobility. And then when an animal is found as sick or an outlier to the group, what we try and do is alert the people that are looking at those animals with a super bright daylight visible LED in the end of the tag. And the way this sits in the ear, that ear actually cuffs it just like a traffic light. And so as you're walking animals walk by you, you see these bright green lights very visibly. Now again, it looks a little different from an ear tag, but I think we're going to get into that right after we get back.
You bet. Yeah, we're going to continue more on the equipment, but I can see how that could sit comfortably inside the calf's ear, giving you temperature, telling you the movements. Folks, when we come back, we're going to get into a little bit more Quantified Ag, Andrew Uden, more after these messages.
The BQA Tip of the Day, sponsored by Beringer Engelheim Vetmedica Inc.
Hello, Dr. Nels Lindberg here with Production Animal Consultation and Animal Medical Center out of Great Bend, Kansas. Today's BQA Tip of the Day, we're thinking about the holidays. And everybody wants some time off for the holidays, but we still have animals to feed and take care of. And so going forward with the holidays coming up, think about how you're going to manage your people and manage their time off. Number one goal is we want our people to be able to be with their families, especially if they're millennials or anybody, I would say. They really want to spend time with their family. So how do we set up our schedule so that we can take care of our cattle and take care of our people? Again, if we don't prepare for it up front, we could create some issues on the back end, whether it's with our team member or with the animals that we haven't properly scheduled people for to take care of. We must do it, we must attack it early. So think about those schedules. How can you work with your people so that they can be with their family? That's priority number one. And then number two, at the end of the day, we still have to take care of our cattle. Give those things some thoughts and keep at it. Thank you much.
I'm Rexanne Struve, veterinarian in Western Iowa. I have a veterinary clinic and started doing stem cell therapy on dogs in August of 2014. And after the first 2 dogs, after 3 weeks, I saw such dramatic results. I said, hey, I have arthritis. I have joints, really need this help. Where can I go to get this done? I had stem cell therapy done in November of 2014 on my finger joints, my hip, and the ball of my left foot, all of which I'd had real severe problems with. Saw a pretty dramatic improvement in a short amount of time. I would certainly recommend that somebody don't wait until I'm in the position that I was in with the damage already done to my joints. I encourage veterinarians to use it for their animals, and I encourage anybody who sees this video, if you have need, get in contact with these people because this is a phenomenal place to have this done.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Here's another gardening tip with Annette Jackson from Jackson's Greenhouse.
Fall is a great time to plant, and if you would like fresh fruit, grapes, or berries to eat next year, now is an ideal time to plant.
We'll show you how, what, and where to plant for a successful crop of delicious, healthy fruit. We have a great selection and great service. Come see us at Jackson's.
Our entire stock of shrubs, roses, berries, perennials, and trees are now on sale at 25% off. Hurry out for your best selection.
Jackson's Greenhouse has what you need today.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan here with Andrew Uden, COO, Quantified Ag, talking about the ability to get temperature of the cattle, be able to look at movement and how the cattle are moving in the yard. But what's this?
So this is our tagging gun or attachment tool, if you like, if you're trying to be more politically correct in the industry, which is basically a modified roofing gun at this point. And we're working on kind of making a new design for this, but right now as we're testing on yards and we're starting to get this tag in commercial feed yards, it's a very simple process. You load the tag just like, it's kind of like a 2-piece all-flex tagger. You have your backing, you have your tag, all slides in together.
Hope he doesn't staple this to me. All right, here we go.
And then if your animal's ear is here, you slide it down the top of the ear, you tighten it, which will actually activate the safety. So if there's not an ear in there, you can't staple.
Gotcha.
And then you pull the trigger. I mean, it takes seconds per animal. It goes in.
It's no different than any other tagging.
Exactly, and it's pneumatic. So if you're doing hundreds in a day, other than the weight of the gun, you're not having any physical force having to put the tag in the ear. It goes in so quickly with such a small gauge staple, you're really not causing a lot of traumatic damage to that ear either. In fact, most time cattle will not throw their head or buck or anything. The noise of the gun, the poof of air, causes more stress, I think, than tagging.
I like, too, that this is going to be inside the ear, and you have this flat on the back that's not going to catch on any kind of cable.
Exactly.
Like the old RFID tags and things of that would catch on cable and rub off. So you probably have pretty good retention.
Exactly, exactly. We're working probably in the high 90s right now. And keep in mind, we developed the very first prototype less than 2 years ago, probably about a year and a few months ago. So we've moved pretty aggressively, pretty quickly on high retention, low infection rate, and great usability.
So let me get this straight. I get the receiver. It's a 11 by 6 inch box. I put it up, plug it in the wall, turn on the internet, start putting these in. And how many cattle can the one receiver?
Up to 62,000.
Okay.
So I mean,
and the radius?
Radius is about 2 mile radius. So we're going to cover pretty much most feed yards in America. The very large yards, we can use multiple receivers. So, and cattle can bounce between receiver to receiver. So from a traceability standpoint, you could have receivers at, say, Tyson. And as cattle are coming in, once they leave the feed yard, they start looking for a new receiver. They get to the gate at Tyson, and they start linking up before they're ever on the kill floor, before they ever have to be scanned in.
What all information can you get on these tags about the individual animal?
So we're getting inner ear canal temperature, which is correlated to body temperature. We're getting head movement, so watching the position of that head throughout the feeding period or throughout their day. And then we're getting overall mobility, which is really kind of like a pedometer,
right,
how the pedometers work in the dairy industry.
Okay.
So.
And then you use that in combination to understand whether or not the animal's doing right.
Yep. And we have some simple charts that we can look at how temperature and mobility are correlated on animals that are getting sick and animals that are staying healthy. And then we also have the ability to do deep machine learning techniques, which I think we should probably talk about here as we wrap up.
Sounds like a winner. Pretty simple technology, highly effective technology, and something that we're going to be seeing more of in the future, that's for sure. This is Mr. Andrew Uden. He's the COO of Quantified Ag. I'm Dr. Dan. More from DocTalk after these messages.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
If you're searching for bulls that offer genetic flexibility, then come to the Dale Banks Angus Bull Sale, Saturday, November 19th, near Eureka, Kansas. Selling 140 bulls that have spent their lives in rough Flint Hills pastures. For 112 years, the Perriers have been focused on providing hard-working, balanced trait bulls for progressive cattlemen nationwide. Make plans to join us on November 19th or bid online at liveauctions.tv. Call the Perriers at 620-583-4305 or dalebanks.com.
Healthy cows start with the new hired hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher, leaving more time to tend to other vital tasks on the farm. To learn more, visit cowsprayer.com. The new hired hand makes healthy cows easy.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Broadband has become as important to us as highways. That is why DocTalk is teaming up with NTCA, the Rural Broadband Association, and rural broadband companies like Blue Valley Telecommunications in fighting for quality broadband access through the program Smart Rural Communities.
I don't think we have any idea what's coming in the future. I couldn't have imagined 5 years ago what we're doing today. So in 2 years, I would guess there's things we can't imagine that we're going to be doing.
To learn more, visit ntca.org/smart or bluevalley.net.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways. Of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here with Andrew Uden, who's the COO of Quantified Ag, which is a new technology company that's revolutionizing beef cattle health and well-being, judicious antimicrobial use, traceability, you name it. They're getting it covered. And so as we left, you're talking about your analytics, which now don't get too deep on me, but because these guys are smart.
Yeah, it goes over my head too, but luckily we have some data scientists on the team.
It doesn't go over his head.
But what we like to say is we use deep machine learning techniques or deep data analytics, which is taking kind of new theories of statistical modeling and clustering and searching through these vast amounts of data we collect, because we're collecting 18 to 24 readings a day on every animal that has these tags, and that's just dumping every hour. We're collecting readings every few seconds on most of these animals. Wow. And so if you look at a chart, it's going to be hard to sort through all that data, whereas these algorithms and these machine learning platforms that are in the cloud can really look through data in seconds and tell you, well, this animal is sick, this animal, there's something off with this animal, go look at him. But it really starts to isolate those animals pretty quickly.
Let's take a look at one of these animals.
So this is just our basic management platform, which is all cloud-based, so you can pull it up on your phone or computer or tablet at home even. And you can do everything you could do in a normal animal management system, processing, movements, treatments. But at the same time, it's also pulling in all this live data on this animal. The dark blue line's temperature over time, and then the light blue bar graph is actually his overall activity level throughout the day. So if we look here on the 20th of September, you can see his temperature gets all the way up to 106.2.
Needs to be pulled.
He needs to be pulled. And you can tell we missed him because there are days where he gets hot, but the whole group is hot, high heat days. But his activity just falls off a cliff. And then as he starts to normalize his temperature, you see all of his activity patterns rise again. And so that's kind of the normal sickness progression that we're looking for. Now, like I said, that's where the deep machine learning comes in, because rather than just looking at this and going through thousands of cattle a day and saying, well, this one has it, this one has it, the algorithm does all that for you. And then it tells you, these are the lights you need to turn on.
Yep, and then it sends from the receiver out to turn this light on, and then when you see that light on, that's an animal that needs to be pulled.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
And you start to think about the technology and thinking about, okay, these are days I should or shouldn't be working cattle just because of temperature and activity, retreatment rates, cattle that are checking out. There are so many things that you're going to be able to help us with. It's going to be unbelievable.
We like to say we're on the very tip of the iceberg. We have a very basic system that we know gets us to a certain point in terms of identifying those sick animals early. And then from there we can start to build out traceability, more precise use, precision livestock management, if you will, of drugs and things like that.
Yep. Folks, if you want to see some new technology, check out their website, Quantified Ag, and it's here on the bottom of your screen. Thinking about the ability to find sick cattle, having something that's simple to use, can tell you which animals need to be pulled, and then the traceability, which is coming. Being able to communicate directly from the feed yard to the packing plant as you pull up. Incredible work. appreciate all you're doing for the industry, and appreciate y'all watching DocTalk. If you want to know more about what we do here on DocTalk, you can find us at www.doctalktv.com. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson. Remember to always work with your local veterinarian. Thanks for joining me on DocTalk, and I'll see you down the road.